Hello, say hi to a happy day and enjoy listening while I read to you a story. Mike's Laughing Matter. Beep, beep, beep. Mike Wachowski's eye popped open. He stretched his arms and grinned. It was time for work. He turned off his alarm clock and hopped out of bed. He didn't want to be late for his job at Monsters Inc. Mike took his work very seriously. When Mike arrived at work, he headed straight to the locker room. His job was to go into the human world and make kids laugh. He collected the laughs and brought them back to Monsters Inc. Then the company changed the laughs into energy for the city of Monstropolis. Mike wasn't just any employee, he was the top laugh collector. He was always coming up with the new jokes. As Mike walked down the hall to the laugh floor, a furry orange monster named George waved. Hi, Mike. Got any new plans for the weekend? Mike just nodded and kept walking. He didn't have time to chat if he was going to run through his routine. A moment later, he arrived at his station. Mike practiced his jokes aloud. A scandal bumped into a sneaker. Want to hang out? The scandal asked. The sneaker raced off. Sorry, gotta run. Just then, a door dropped down from the ceiling into his station. Time to rock and roll, Mike said excitedly. Mike walked through the door and into a child's bedroom closet. He peeked out. To his surprise, the bedroom was dark and the shades were down. The glow of a nightlight filled the room. Mike tiptoed to the bed. A little boy lay sound asleep under the covers. Mike knew he wouldn't be collecting any laughs here. It seemed pretty early for bedtime, he thought, stepping back through the closet door into Monsters Inc. He looked over at his empty laugh canister. Guess the kid had a busy day. Oh well, I'll just have to crack up someone else tonight. A moment later, a new door slid down and Mike stepped through it. You've got to be kidding me, he whispered, his eye wide open. His audience, a young girl, was fast asleep. She was even snoring. I'm not going to give up, Mike declared. After all, he was the funniest monster at Monsters Inc. Mike took a deep breath, returned to the laugh door, and tried another door. Then another. No luck. All the children he visited were asleep. What a terrible day, Mike grumbled as he walked back through his station door yet again. Then he packed up his belongings. Outside Monsters Inc., a few monsters were talking to Sally, the president of the company and Mike's best friend. Mike went over and told his friends what had happened. Doesn't anyone stay up past dinner? He asked. George shrugged his furry orange shoulders. I didn't have any problems. I collected nearly a dozen canisters, said Charlie, a skinny green monster. One of my best days ever. Sully patted Mike's arm. Probably just a coincidence, pal. I'm sure tomorrow will be better. Why don't you come have dinner with us? Mike shook his head. He needed to go home and write some more jokes. He was determined to have the most laughs that week. When Mike got home, his phone was ringing. It was his girlfriend Celia. "How was work?" she asked. "Terrible," Mike said. "I didn't even fill up one canister." "Don't worry," Celia told him. "You're the funniest monster I know. The laughs will come. So, do you want to go to a movie on Saturday?" "Can I let you know tomorrow?" Mike asked. "Sure," Celia replied. Mike hung up the phone. He wrote 8 new jokes, reread them several times, and then hurried off to bed. The next day, Mike was bursting with excitement. What did the ghost serve at his birthday party? "Ice cream," he joked, warming up. But it happened again. Each time Mike stepped through a closet door, he found a sleeping child. What was going on? Mike stomped back to the laugh floor. This was nothing to laugh about. His reputation as the funniest monster at Monsters Inc. was on the line. "What's the matter, Mike?" George asked. "You seem cranky." "Wanna grab a bite?" Sally suggested. Other monsters had started to look at Mike, wondering what was going on. "Not now," Mike said, pacing back and forth. "This is a disaster." "Maybe you're losing your touch," George said. "Maybe you should get some more sleep," Charlie advised. Mike felt his face getting hot. "Listen." Suddenly, Mike noticed that Sully was grinning, and so were the other monsters. Even Celia's hair snakes were smiling. "Maybe you shouldn't take your laughs too so seriously," Sully suggested with a wink. "What do you know about this?" Mike asked suspiciously. "We got you," George yelled. He and Charlie high-fived. "Got me," Mike said, giving everyone a wide-eyed stare. "The guys just thought it was time to help you lighten up and laugh a bit more, Mike," Sally explained. "When was the last time you went to lunch with one of us? You haven't stopped to chat in weeks, and I heard Celia ask you to go to the movies on Saturday." "But I mean, work has been..." Mike tried to explain that he took his jokes very seriously. Then he realized his friends were right. He had been trying so hard to collect laughs that he'd forgotten to have some of his own. He smiled. "Okay, how'd you do it?" he asked. "When you weren't home, I snuck into your house and changed your clock," Charlie told him. "That's why the kids were all asleep when you walked into their bedrooms." As Mike looked at all the smiling monster faces around him, he realized how much his friends cared about him. He found himself finally beginning to relax. Then he let out a loud chuckle. Soon everyone on the laugh floor was cracking up. "I have to admit it, you guys really had me going," Mike said, wiping a happy tear from his eye. Sully grinned. This time, the joke was on you. The end. I hope you enjoy listening to the story. Mike's Laughing Matter. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and listen to more of our favorite book stories. See you soon.